I'll keep trying, dear. I return a smile and lean back, resting in my chair. Her eyes suddenly go wide. Oh, hey, I brought someone for you to meet. Why isn't there a Guts theme? You have all these songs. You don't have a Guts theme. Actually, I should have been playing this the whole time. This one. Damn! Why did I forget the fucking song for this? I mean, this moment doesn't carry that same timbre. Because in that one, she just falls apart, right? She just, in the rain, on the ground, clinging to Inko, and it's just this depressing moment where everything falls to pieces. Invaded by dark spirit forlorn. Listen, Olivia, I don't know how to tell you this. I grabbed her by the arms and looked her dead in the eyes. I didn't know how I could tell someone about this, but it's the kind of stuff you just know that at some point in your life, you gotta tell the person you love the most. We're being invaded by Kirk, the dark spirit. And, I take out a weapon. It's a simple heavy crossbow, but well upgraded. Perfect for someone with stats like hers. I hand it over, together with enough heavy bolts to really make it sting. Listen, I know, but I need you, okay? Will you be my backup? I just need someone to pelt him in the back and get his attention. I've been trying to fight this guy for 10 years, Olivia. 10 years I've tried to put Kirk in the ground. But he always gets the better of me. I think, Olivia, I can block that little roll of his with my shield, but he always throws me off, Olivia. Every single time. I get so close, but I never win, Olivia. This man is the reason that I never won. I could have made it. I could have made it to the Gaping Dragon. But it was always just a little too smart for me. You do know you can skip that part of the depths, right? I thought you needed the master key for that part. I don't even know anymore. It's been a while. God damn it, you mean to tell me that I've been sitting here for 20 years in my own pity for nothing? Damn, and I thought you were sad. Got you now, dear. What? Olivia, I got one thing to ask you. May I please use your wheelchair as a weapon to make some heat moves? Oh. 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 Hold up, someone linked that fucking archive. Why are they linking the internet archive for this? Saturday night big cock salary man. Somehow with less penises than this whole thing. Let's give it a read. Now is the time. Now is the time. You are a coward for thinking there was ever another time of the week where this should happen. I got this new anime plot. Basically, there's this high school girl, except she's got huge boobs. I mean, serious honkas. A real set of badonkas. Packing some doban honkaroos. Massive do honka bunkaloos. A big old honka kalugas. God, that... No one will ever outdo Pro CD on that front. But you know, a wheelchair is a good weapon for some good heat moves. You got one at least. I brought something for you to make. I cock an eyebrow and she reaches to a hoodie pocket and pulls out a fucking rat, which peers up at me from my hand and belts out a little yawn. He clenches his fist in anger and I feel my heart squeeze down into nothing but a size of a penny. Sorry, he likes to use that move. Stop it, Guts. Now's not the time for Kalina. Oh, well, that's Guts then, eh? You brought him to school? She lifts him to her shoulder, nodding. Yeah, I knew today was going to be rough, and he just, helps me. It's not the first time I brought him, even when you were here. She scratches him under his chin, and I penis my head to this. Oh, sorry, we're not cocking eyebrows. Fair enough. Oh, can't believe I never noticed. She giggles. Yadaka did once. Just warned me not to let him run around school, otherwise it'd be a health hazard. Suddenly, the end of the lunch bell rings out, shocking us out of a little stupor. Shit. I look back down at him. Yeah, I guess a good talk, right? Yeah, good talk. Let's get out of here before the librarian comes back. They stand up, bringing the chair back to its appropriate location. I think, like, I give them some shit for, like, oh man, why are you doing this so after the... But the reason is simple. If you really dig down into it, the demo 4 chapters set up a really weak story when you think about it. I want you to remember that, like, the original Snoot game, like, first chapter is everyone hates the living shit out of Fang. And here it's like, oh, I guess Olivia is a little withdrawn, but she's so cute and it's so perfect. And they're like, no, we're shooting this shit in the foot and we're going for it. You know, they had a lot of catching up to do dramatically speaking. They had this big worm sequence without any real payoff for it. It's payoff without a setup. I peered down at a humming. I guess we could play hooky. Oh, wait. I stand back up, bringing the chair back to its appropriate location. Olivia's looking at me with trepidation as she speaks again. I don't think I can go to my next class. I don't feel great. I guess we could play hooky, but you know what? My next class with the Atticon again, photography. I'll take it that. Oh, get it. She smiles, nodding. She moves the wheel herself, but I stay behind and grab the handles of a chair, stopping her. She cranes her neck straight up and looks at me with confusion. Hey, that's cute. Let me do it. Oh, that cry must have tuckered you out, right? Chauvinist bastard, you were crying and all you got for it was a new dad. Oh. My actual problem with this, right, is the original sequence. Olivia is probably fucking freezing because she's a cold-blooded creature. The reason Inko pushes her is because she's probably on the verge of dying. They're in the library. It's warm. She huffs, looking away and blushing. Like, why did you change the scene at all? Nothing was gained. In truth. Fine, just for today. Yeah, that girl. People shoot us looks as we pass by. I can't blame him. A guy like me pushing a girl in a wheelchair around, I'd stare too. Olivia keeps craning her neck back and looking at me like she's afraid I'm gonna disappear forever. I think I might have been the one who go a little red that time. Yeah, I kind of only looks at us in minor confusion as I wheel Olivia in, but I give him the look and I think he gets it. He doesn't stop her as I let go of her handles as she wheels herself into the back room anyway. Thankfully, not everyone is in class had filtered in yet, but Ben was here. Neither of us pay him any mind, though. Class starts like usual. I do my best to pay attention to his classes, but man, I'm kind of out of my funk after that, too. A good funk, but a funk nonetheless. Before the bell rings, though, Yadakan returns the look to me, and I know damn well what that means. Again, this scene works better when she's fucking soaked, so that Yadakan is like, why is she so just utterly soaked? Why were you outside so long, my man? Like, you're fucking up the intended flow for no reason. For what? Because he doesn't want to buy an umbrella? You do know, right? You do know that the umbrella is supposed to be the metaphorical support that Inko is providing to Olivia in that moment, right? She is out in the rain in one of her depressive stupors, and Inko is the light in the darkness, as they say. And you're not doing that. You're not playing with that idea. You're just going, I don't know, library, I guess. There's a visual language at play. And you killed it for what? Nothing? Just to be different? You bingus. Oh, but it doesn't suit the character. Well, it doesn't suit the fucking narrative either. Sure enough, when everyone's gone, he closes the door and locks it, leaving us alone. He turns to me with a cocked eye. There we go. The penises are back. Well? I shove my hands in my pocket. You can come out now, Olivia. She does so. Opening the door and wheeling out. He looks back at me. I would like to know why you use my classroom as a sanctuary. I shoot aside at Olivia. She shoots one back at me. She stares up at him glumly. I was having a bad day. Guts looks up at the Atticon from a lip. And he reaches down and gives him a little chin scratch. If he's here, I assume as much. He withdraws, sitting on a desk, gesturing for her to continue. She doesn't say anything, but he shifts his hand to me. I drew the inside of my cheek as I looked between the Atticon's expected leer and Olivia's pleading eyes. I was clear in the air. Of course. Olivia sighs. Can I try some other time? Absolutely. Whatever's going on, it looks like you did just fine bouncing back either way. Yeah, sure, buddy. What's it about your work again? Yeah. He rolls his eyes with a smile, standing up and focusing his gaze on me as he jabs his thumb at her. Oh, this girl. You know, the work she's so concerned about is the reason my grading curve is an upper limit. I penis my eyebrow. You for real? For real. Who would think? The student's working too hard. Fully on them. I sure didn't until 4 years ago when this green little devil came rolled. Shouldn't it be 3 years ago? High school was 4 years, buddy. 4 years ago, she was in middle school. Half a semester, and more than a few angry calls from parents, and I have no choice. Also, if it's through the semester, shouldn't it be like 3 years ago by definition of it being in the future from this, and like it's on? He clacks his feet apart, theatrically gestures at Olivia, his voice taking a tone akin to an old-time radio host. Young lady, simply does too damn much. That much better, huh? He leans his weight onto one foot, planting his hands on his hips. Well, not entirely. I don't grab by technique. She was very, very good, even then. But the main thing I admire is motivation. I still haven't met someone so enthused to paint in years. Certainly not someone so enthused that I had to change the rules so suddenly like that. You were worried it would stop me. Was I? Certainly sounds like me, didn't it, though? Didn't, though, did it? No, not at all. Heck, that year you got even me to see things differently. I don't think I did anything like that. You did when you came into the class before Mother's Day. Take a look at this. He produces a special quill pen, handing it to me. I take it gingerly, running the finger along the feather. Damn, that's soft. A special pen? It's actually from my wife. My eyes widen and I bring it closer to my face. I would put it further away from my face. That thing's full of corpse energy. Inspecting the finer detail. Faded engravings to the point. Worn but lovingly maintained. Yeah, that's a pretty good pen. Old but gold. Brass, I guess. Look back up at the attic as I continue talking. She came in that afternoon with a big old stack of crumpled painting drafts, completely beside herself that she couldn't get it perfect. She absolutely was determined, though. I said to her, if none of these be any of these would be great. Your aunt would love any of these. And you know what she said? It's not good enough for me. Why would it be good enough for someone I love? And I did not have an answer. I peer around and at Olivia, who looks embarrassed, and then I peer back up at him. Don't peer so much. Every time I see that word, I think of pears. Damn, that's deep. I had to tell her to take a step back. We work on the fundamentals for a few hours, and I send her home to try and get through it over the weekend. Come Monday, she comes barreling in and hugs me first thing. That Friday night, though, I couldn't get what she said out of my mind. I talked about it all night with my wife, and that morning, I decided to make a change for myself. My wife was molting at the time, so there was always a new feather or three in our blankets each morning. I took the biggest one, preserved it right, and got a bit of help to turn it into a real pen. And I've used it ever since. He takes it back from me carefully, holding it up like King Arthur's sword. It helps me remember to do my job right for the people I care about, and for the people my students care about. It's that childlike reasoning that comes so naturally to the youth. That reasoning. It makes a type of innocent, earnest dedication. Something I thought I'd lost for a good long while. I mean, you have cancer, buddy. Takes a lot out of you. To be fair, they can just not cock their fucking eyebrows! Okay? You don't need to write the fucking stage directions for your characters. You can raise an eyebrow. You can eye with suspicion. I don't know, but like, this doesn't fucking matter, right? This is stage direction. It is not part of your emotional core. It doesn't fucking matter. Stop it. You are adding words to pad out your page count. Nothing else. It doesn't matter. No one cares. Okay? If everyone is cocking their fucking eyebrows, the only thing you get is that I point out that you're cocking everyone's fucking eyebrows. And it's fucking DreamWorks all over again. Oh. Read an actual book and note how little they actually do stuff like this. You know? Did you just tell? Yes, I just told people to read a fucking book. Which is a lot to ask from fanfiction writers who have this insular grammatical system because they don't read anything outside of the one thing they like. And again, it's a visual novel, so you're getting really skewed perspective on how writing should work. And on top of that, modern people, they mostly know movies and YouTube videos and TikToks, so they are familiar with the visual language being this core component of the presentation. And they confuse that
The reason that's visual is you're watching a fucking video. If you're listening to music, the music fucking matters. If you're writing something, what matters is plot, themes, characters. And you might notice that none of those are someone cocking their fucking eyebrow. They start writing stage directions. And here's the thing. Let me tell you something. Let me take you deep into the Saffy zone. You want to know why I call it stage directions? Because I know a guy, and he says I look at scripts from time to time, right? When you hand over a script to actors on a stage in a theater, if you write down, this is where he does this, you are writing stage directions. And he said, you don't do that. You don't do that because, one, your actor knows better. Your actor knows fucking better because they're the fucking actor. Or you let the director sort it out. You, the writer, don't decide that. If it's an important gesture for the purposes of the scene, you include it because you have to. And sometimes you include directions like this in order to break up the fact that these characters are endlessly talking. You might have lost track of who's who, or maybe it's breaking up the sequence. You know, flow, breathing, pacing of the writing if someone is just in it. But you don't write the shit out. When I could probably look for that script I have, right? There, I have a script for like a school play, and it is very minimal on what you're supposed to do. It will tell you your cues, it will tell you where to be, but it doesn't really give a shit. You are expected to bring that yourself, because it goes without saying that if someone is crying, their eyes are shut, they're shuddering, there may be, you can emphasize that to bring out the emotion to the reader. But cocking a fucking eyebrow all the damn time, you're diluting the action, it doesn't actually matter, and I suffer semantic satiation, and I hate that, and I will call you out. It's just that simple. Or as I always like to say it, thanks, I hate it. Olivia twiddles her thumbs, muttering, "Don't give me so much credit." He leans forward, penising his eyebrow up as he put his fists in his hips. Also, hold up. Rooster. You can also use perk up. I get that that's like the shorthand for things, but again, at that point, like, what are you doing? Hold up. Let me take it. Let's go back into the Saffy zone for a minute. Do you want to know how you can make clear that someone is suspicious of something? Instead of writing my eyebrow goes up, we're in your fucking head, D. We are literally, Dorian, we are in your mind, in your thoughts. We are reading your thoughts. Your eyebrow moving is irrelevant. Why? What is happening in your brain at that moment? You don't say my eyebrow cocks. You're like, what's up with that? Why are you doing that? I can't believe what I just did. I lean in, scrutinizing, instead of eyebrows getting cocked. You give me the fucking character and their emotions and their thoughts because we're in this fucking perspective, in this first-person perspective, so we can get those fucking thoughts. Why aren't you doing this? Why do so many people get this so fucking wrong? It's like they don't think. They don't want to think. Saffy, you've been writing for over a day. No! I will get mad. I will become a teacher, and my entire job will be yelling at people who don't get this. And I'll live it up. I'll relish it. I'll take a little bottle of salt to work every day, and I'll sprinkle it on top, just so that they know that I'm here to make their lives hell, so they don't salt their dishes too much, and they don't undersalt it either. I will teach them what both taste like, until the only thing they can think about is the exact right amount. Their tongues will scream at the mere thought of doing it wrong. And then, of course, I hit them, because I like to teach classically. God damn, Saffy, that went someplace. It did, but I'm so angry, okay? Like I said, I hate semantic satiation, and normally I'm willing to shrug this stuff, but it keeps happening. You did it with the furrowing. You kind of went somewhere new. The problem is, every time I see it, I think about dicks, because it shows up so much that the semantic satiation looks for the alternative meanings of the word. Ugh. It's not a common verb. And I'm just angry. You haven't lost it, have you? She glances up at him, smiling but saying nothing. He smiles back at her, leaning back with a nod. Okay, so like, let me take you back. What I mean, yeah, man, wouldn't it be fucking great if D had some repressed fucking anger of his own instead of just being like, oh, I'm okay with this. I'm repressed anger. I literally go to a fight club, but I'm okay. I guess I get one big scream. So you see this, right? You want to know what a good writer does with a line like this, where this moment is emotionally resonant. It is a moment where he's like, I see in you that youthful inspiration, and she realizes something about herself. She has that moment in her brain, and it shouldn't be. He smiles back at her, leaning back with a nod, if only because you used back twice in the same fucking sentence like that. Like, don't do that. That looks dumb. But more importantly, what you want to put there is, what does fucking D think? Shouldn't he be like, he gives her a smile, and I suddenly realize that, what does he realize? What does he think? How does he feel? Does she look up at him expectantly? Or hopefully? Or does she suddenly realize something about herself? Nothing. We just get stage directions, and I don't fucking care. I will put your head in the fucking sink and drown you until you tell me what the hell D actually thinks about any of this. This is your emotionally resonant moment. What did they think? I don't know. Tell, don't show, I guess. Don't have a character have emotions and opinions. Don't have them have wrong opinions. I don't know. I'm getting angry in an irrational way. But luckily, we're almost done with this chapter, and I'm going to stop because, fuck, not good. Don't go lose it for me, okay? She nods. Everyone is nodding and smiling. Looks back over at me and yawns, stretching every limb from his legs and his wings out. Scratches at his chin. Glances between the two of us. You all right to go back to your next class now? Yeah, I'm ready. We should do this again sometime. He ushers us out. Again, usher. Why are you using this extremely specific verb? Why doesn't he shoo you out of class, or rush you out of class, or push you out of class? Right as the late bell rings out, handing us a note, he'd rapidly scrawled on. Brockling was looking a little prickly when we walked in late, but it was quickly diffused with the toddy note. I slump into my seat, ready to face the tribulations of history, but Olivia and I's eyes meet, and she smiles. That's... Whoa. Holy shit, using it unironically, are we? Smiling that smile. One that spoke many words to me, yet words I couldn't comprehend. Yeah, because you have no emotional depth. All I could do was try to match it. Why? Like, why would you try to match... If I'm talking to someone, right? If my waiter comes to my table and hands me my food and says, bon appetit, I don't say, you too. You dumb asshole. His emotional lack of depth isn't a character flaw. It's not a thing that matters to the story. It's just he's just fucking stupid and has nothing to say. That returns to the nightmarish lecture we were facing. I didn't get Nick. I think... Why not? Nick cravings have nothing to do with your mind, man. That's chemical. You don't cheat your way out of that one. And I'm gonna punch my desk a couple of times and get mad. Like that he didn't the library true, was proactive about it. Yeah, the proactive part didn't really matter in the end. It didn't do anything that I care to note. The next one is a usual big chapter, so we're saving that for later. Hey, I said I want some chapter variety, and here we go. This is so fucking much, though. Damn. You know what? I'm done. I'm donezo kabunzo. Oh. So crock full of shit. What's the point? I think we need one of those popular read-along blogs to tackle the strange case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in the same way that's been done for Dracula and Moby Dick. The number of folks around here seem to be under the impression that reading a queer subtext into Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is a subversion rather than being straightforwardly material to the plot is frankly embarrassing. I thought Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde was about the fact that we all have a desire to find an excuse to be different in society, which I guess you could add a queer reading too. Because it is about, you know... A brief refresher for folks asking for what queer subtext. Though this element is often dropped into modern adaptations owing to the audience familiarity in the original book, the fact that Jekyll and Hyde are the same person is framed as a twist. The front half of the novel concerns a friend of Jekyll's named Gabriel Utterson, investigating the nature of the relationship between Jekyll and Hyde and trying to figure out why Jekyll appears to be protecting Hyde. Though Utterson seems to have arrived at the conclusion early on, this conclusion is disclosed neither to other characters, not the reader. Later, once the cat's out of the bag, it is explained that the original motivation behind Jackal's scientific research was not to create a transformative serum, but to purge himself of a certain flaw in his character, the nature of which cannot be described. It is this. Oh yeah, that's what I talked about. That's what I kind of meant. No, that's not what I meant, but it's related. It's additionally alluded to that a character flaw that led himself to commit a series of shameful indiscretions in his youth, the nature of which is not further elaborated upon. Questions for further discussion. Prior to the big reveal, what does a reading between the lines suggest Utterson thinks is going on between Jackal and Hyde, and why is he so reluctant to disclose this belief? What is the significance of the fact that the nature of the character flaw which Jackal sought to rid himself of is never specified, nor the particulars of the shameful acts that led him to commit? Why are there so many older unmarried men, including both Utterson and Jackal himself, kicking around in the story anyway? So that's probably just the product of the times. Women didn't do much back then. And them being married is like, yeah, your life's done at that point. You made babies, you're done. Go to hell. You're done. Remember reading this in an English college course, and someone who genuinely managed to go in unspoiled, which is kind of incredible to me, and the rest of our group who have been spoiled in 100 different ways. Naturally, her assumption was that Mr. Hyde was Dr. Jackal's lover. I know, right? You're going into it unspoiled. Utterson's unspoken suspicion that Hyde is Jackal's kept boy isn't even something you need to squint to see. That's interesting, that something gets so polluted by future alterations. Anyway, like I said, we're not doing another chapter. I got really angry about relatively minor details in someone's passion project, and we all know that when that starts happening, we might as well not continue. Besides, we've been at this for like an hour. It's not even that much. We could do this entire other chapter. What even is this next chapter, anyway? In the original one, it is Mia bullying, then this, and then the arcade, right? Yeah, we're doing Buster O' Nuts, aren't we? The Crown Champ of Old Caldera. I do like the idea that, again, we have a main character who can't actually play fucking video games. Anyway, let's look up how many eyebrows get cocked this time. Let's go through it. We got one cocked eyebrow, another cocked eyebrow. Jesus, Olivia is cocking that eyebrow, huh? She's giving it a workout. We have Olivia cocking her eyebrow again. Then D cocks an eyebrow. We're at 5. D cocks an eyebrow. D cocks an eyebrow. He cocks an eyebrow. I don't know who. Maybe it's Buster O' Nuts. Then D cocks an eyebrow. Olivia cocks an eyebrow. D cocks an eyebrow again. 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 These two are so close together you can see them in the same page, on the same page view. Great. Oh, actually, there was a previous one where they were really close together. But that was a brow cocking and a head cocking, so I'm not counting that one. Buster cocks an eyebrow. Oh no, he cocks his head back. People can tilt their head, you know. And then Olivia cocks her head back. Then Olivia cocks her eyebrow again. Then she cocks another eyebrow. Mind you, the exact same sentence structure, so that if you use Control F and you jump between the two, it's the exact same starting sentence. Wow. Then D cocks an eyebrow again. She cocks an eyebrow again. She cocks her eyebrow again 3 sentences later, because we can't forget that eyebrow is motherfucking up there. And then one more eyebrow gets crocked before her smirk rises to a grin. Bam! My head explodes. Because I know what to tell you. But I don't think a smug or a grin are things that are raised between, as if one is smaller than the... a grin is small broadly. Saffy, that's on you. I thought a grin was like a specific kind of smile. I thought it was a specific kind of smile, but apparently it is just a generic kind of smile. How weird. I thought a grin was like, you know, kind of a... kind of sneaky, kind of mean. You know, like a smirk. But with a bit more face in it. But we get a lot of cocked eyebrows. I will remind you that a big other problem that I feel this writing has is it really doesn't start sentences with a lot of dynamicism. Like, if it's not a quote, it usually starts with a proper noun or a pronoun. And that's just, I don't know, man. It's what happens. It happens for a reason. And I mentioned this before. This guy does not fucking like having quotes on the same line as descriptive text. And it results in, like, yes, you end up with pronouns and proper nouns because you keep having to establish who's talking. If he didn't do that, I think he could do a lot more variety. He could get away with a lot more. He could restructure his text to work a little bit differently, but I don't know. Small thing, but it's like, I'm already in complain mode. We might as well keep going. Then we get another bloody knuckle interlude, which at this point feels weird. The character has already established himself as, it feels more gratuitous, but hey, I said it before. You're writing fan fiction. You might as well jerk yourself off a little bit every once in a while. Even if how you're jerking it is in a hospital. Apparently, our guy's such a big man that he has deep wounds, and he's like, no sedatives. No, I don't give a shit. Just give me something to bite down. Did you know that, like, the big problem with the reason they give you something to bite down on is because otherwise you'd bite your fucking tongue off from the pain? That's why they give you something to bite on, so that you don't fucking lose your tongue like a dingus. Which should tell you something about how fucking sturdy those people were. After Interlude 4, though, it's a while. Like, Chapter 11 is Interlude 4, and Chapter 21 is Interlude 5. So after this, as I mentioned, a lot of anger goes out the window, which is interesting, because the first few interludes were like alternating chapters. Although 3 wasn't even a fight, it's called that way. I don't even know why. I think the author's just terrified of making shorter chapters, and they make excuses. Like, it's an interlude. It's like, no, it's just a fucking chapter that's a bit shorter than the rest. But I already did my word count analysis on a proper book. Anyway. Feel free to ignore the advice from a guy who is not a published writer. Doesn't make his money this way. You know what they say. If he doesn't make money, he's not the real deal. Or something, I don't fucking know. I'm also tired, and this wreaks havoc on my throat. We might do more tomorrow. We might not. I might just say no and take time for myself. Relax, kick up my little feeties. I got other stuff that he's taking care of. I'm not even going to say about it, but I'm never going to say about it, but we have no viewers. No one cared. No one showed up. That's how you know I got the good advice. I got the rock solid one.